Week 10 is when teams have now had at least 2 months together to gel. We know who you are now, mostly in Week 10. We know who you are or who you can be. And teams that can be something begin to start putting their foot down and win out. Could one of those teams be the Pittsburgh Steelers? I did not think so going into this weekend. I did not. Mason Rudolph is beginning to see the field a little bit better. And without James Conner running the ball, and with Mason Rudolph under center and in shotgun, they did enough, just enough, to put this game in the hands of the defense and beat a Rams team coming off of a bye week, coming off of a full bye week, and improved to 5-4. This Steelers team can make the playoffs now. We're beginning to learn who they are in Week 10. They can make it if this defense can continue playing the way that it does. Jared Goff looked completely lost. There's no other way to put it. Cooper Kupp became just the third player in the Super Bowl era to have 200 yards receiving in one game and 0 the next. And the Steelers acquiring Minkah Fitzpatrick after going 0-2 have won 5 games since. And this guy's like a turnover magnet. He's sucking up all the loose balls and taking it to the house. With Joe Hayden on the back end and my guy Devin Bush in the middle and TJ Watt and Bud Dupree around Cam Hayward. This is a serious situation here. And I'll say this, too, to all you folks out there, and I know who you are. Well, not by name, but I know you're out there. All you Tomlin's got to get out of here, guys and ladies in Pittsburgh, PA. Loses Ben Roethlisberger in week 2. See ya. Mason Rudolph doesn't seem to have a clue. The clue phone's ringing. He can't pick it up for a couple of weeks. Juju Smith-Schuster has hardly done a lick. They're 5-4. Unbelievable game. Just a terrific football game out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Didn't see it coming. I thought the Rams would win. You showed me. You know, also showed me? The Minnesota Vikings showed me. Minnesota Vikings showed me. And Mike Zimmer, as you know, had enough of Kirk Cousins winging the football around in his first year under center. That is not the way he wants to win football games. He wants to win football games taking care of the football and stopping you from scoring. That's the way he wants to win football games. And if the quarterback, you need to rely on the quarterback to get your first down, get your touchdown in the red zone, so be it. But they are running this offense through Dalvin Cook, who went into Sunday Night Football last night and came out with 97 rushing yards and 86 receiving yards and a score. That kid is amazing. He might be your offensive player of the year. How do you like them apples right now?
That's hot.
He leads the league in rushing right now. And he should start getting, if Christian McCaffrey's getting talk for most valuable player for a team that's now 5-4, Dalvin Cook should start getting this conversation here. He has just been dynamite. He has been terrific. And he now leads Christian McCaffrey in most rushing yards this season. And Nick Chubb, who's up there too. Derrick Henry had a hell of a game for the Titans, and we'll discuss that on the show as one of our guests is a Tennessee Titan. But Dalvin Cook, they're running the offense through him. Cousins put it up 32 times last night, which I think is probably still a little bit too much for Mike Zimmer's taste. But not if you're going to keep flipping it out to Dalvin Cook. Last player to have 1,400 scrimmage yards and 10 scrimmage touchdowns through his team's first 10 games of a season. You know who the last person was? His name is LaDainian Tomlinson. You know what he did that season? He won the Most Valuable Player award. That's 2006. That's what Dalvin Cook's doing right now for a Vikings team that needed that W last night because the Packers are going on a bye, and they came up with a huge win themselves over a Carolina team that had Kyle Allen winging it all over the lot in the snow. And that's another thing I love about Week 10. We're talking about November. Old man Winter showed up for the first time in an NFL season. Snow, Lambeau Field. What more do you want?
Sign me
Okay, and
up.
it was just the second weekend of November. We're already getting that. And the Packers did what they needed to do to survive. A Carolina team that has a quarterback and Kyle Allen with all the conversation. I'll say this too, delete our program today. All the conversation about Cam Newton, his future. He's going to get surgery now, heal up. And by March, Carolina will have to make a decision and teams will have to evaluate. Carolina will have to evaluate what's going on with Cam Newton before they make a decision that would save them $19 million. I think that's all you need to know. Unless this kid, Kyle Allen, isn't the right guy. And Kyle Allen showed he's the right guy yesterday. And I think that put the absolute last nail in the figurative coffin of Cam Newton's tenure in Carolina. What Kyle Allen did yesterday in the fourth quarter, snow coming down, flakes getting bigger and bigger on your screen. My kids loved it. It's just great to watch football in the snow.
It was cool, man.
I know.
It was cool.
But Green Bay came up with its win. So Minnesota already knowing that they're chasing an 8-2 team. If they lost that game last night in Dallas, they'd be 6-4. 2 games behind a team that's entering its bye week at 8-2. Right now, they're 7-3. And they've got Denver at home next week with Green Bay on a bye. They would be 8-3, and Green Bay's coming off their bye. That's pretty big-time stuff, don't you think?
I do.
Boy, did they need that game last night for Minnesota. Because Minnesota goes on its bye after Denver, and then Green Bay comes back after their bye. They're at San Francisco. They could both be 8-3 atop this division. How big a game is that in Week 12? Tennessee with a big W against Kansas City. The Raiders and the Patriots sitting at home on a bye, okay, an actual bye for New England, mini bye for Oakland. Oakland sat back, and they're 1 game behind the Chiefs. That's huge. The Patriots sat back and watched the Cleveland Browns finally win a home game for the first time in 2019. Now they have a 2-game lead over Buffalo, but there come the Ravens right behind them. Again, Week 10, we are learning who you are. And what the Ravens are Super Bowl contenders. Lamar Jackson is as dynamic a player as there is on an NFL gridiron. He got some more MVP conversation buzzing around him right now as they dismantled Cincinnati. Dismantled them. Learning who you are, Baltimore. I knew who you were back in the summer. And I guess what we're learning from the Kansas City Chiefs is that they're a banged-up squad that's going to be inconsistent until they can finally just take a breath. They've got a game in Mexico next week against the Chargers on Monday Night Football. They're going to come back from a bye, hopefully a lot more healthy everywhere, and go on a run to finish this season. All they got to do is just win their division, get in the playoffs, and then try and win a game in either Baltimore or New England is what it looks like right now as we're sitting here a couple Sundays into this November. Which shows you, again, when you got the window of opportunity to host an AFC championship game, you better nail that one down. And then we're also learning who you are or still shrug emoji. That's what also Week 10's about. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Not 1, not 2, let me say it again. 3 1-win teams won on Sunday. 3 of them.
Are you kidding me?
Jets beat the Giants.
Not that big of a shocker, but
Dolphins won their 2nd in a row against an Indianapolis team where finally Frank Reich's magic with backup quarterbacks, it seems to have its limit with Brian Hoyer, and Adam Vinatieri missed another extra point that cost the team.
Ugh.
And the Atlanta Falcons, where in the heck did that one come from?
I have no idea.
Good guy Dan Quinn with a big-time W right there, man. Rewarding his owner for having just a little bit of patience, saying, okay, I've seen these folks win before. We got to see it again. And we'll have to see it a little bit more and more often from Matt Ryan and the Falcons. But I don't know what happened to the Saints yesterday, coming off a bye themselves. Then I'll hit this team here.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.